and when I was getting into NFTs, like it wasn't just one person that mentioned that. When I heard the first time, I was like, okay, that's a little extreme. Then the second time was like, okay, maybe a coincidence, but third, fourth, and fifth time I hear it from different people, I was just like, wow. Okay, so it is. It's 100% correct and perfect 100% of the time. So it's not something you just jump into like people think you can. And I learned that pretty quickly too. Not that I jumped in really fast, but some people honestly spend years before they even mint their NFT. Like they're doing that much research and due diligence into it. And then there's others that, a week and they're in. But there's so much just to like choose what blockchain is right for your project. That's a huge thing, and that's something that we did do. And I know I made the right decision in that regard, uh, especially finding Sublime Sounds that really brought value to my collection like instantly. Just because they had everything ready to go and they were already in the space for a good 8 months, and now it's a year, and they did really well. And he's been a year on, and it's still growing. So a year, 100% correct, 100% of the time, and that's how good he is, and his team. So it's not just something you jump into. You got to really do a lot of research into it and plan. There's a lot of paperwork that you should just be writing down, figuring it out what exactly it is you want to do. And then the difference between, are you going to become a collectible type collection, or are you going to be a project and have the tokenomics? Maybe you're going to do an NFT game. Maybe you're going to do something. Maybe you're going to be a charity, but that becomes a project, right?
How does a musician build a community the way that a project like a PFP?
Sorry, I missed the last part. What did you say there? How does
like the apes have a community, and um, um, the noids have a community. Um, do musicians sort of build a community in NFT space that's similar to that type of thing, where people actually kind of like are
well?
more of a fan base than a
Yeah,
topical base? I mean,
right.
obviously, the common thing is the artist.
Yes, exactly. But for the musician, first, you're really trying to convert, for lack of a better word, or more convince, I suppose, your fans about getting into the NFT space. But
Right.
if you're trying to sell something that people just, and there's still that stigma of cryptocurrency and NFTs, that's a hard sell. But you'll get some, right? But really building your community and all that stuff is exactly like any other NFT collection. You're doing the exact same stuff that they're doing, but the advantage for the musician is you got your followers already in the real world. How many can you bring with you to the NFT world, right? So that's half the battle. But you go from there, and you do exactly what everyone else is doing. Do the legwork, do these spaces. Clubhouse has a good space thing as well, like for talk and whatnot. Discord, I haven't found a lot on Discord, but they are there. So they
Right.
exist. Twitch is another one. They have lots of audio feedback and stuff. You can talk to people on that. Yeah.
Right.
So
This broadcast here is broadcast as well, and I did not know that until
right.
Tanya sent something out today. I was amazed by that. I guess Twitch is the gaming platform, but I guess you can get anything on any platform because it's all just streaming zeros and ones.
Right. Right. So yeah. So again, anyone coming into that space, I know Quasi could probably speak to a lot of that as well. He's well versed. Uh, I met him in some other spaces. He's quite knowledgeable as well.
What's your best success story on a single, on a piece of music? Like what can an artist say? Like, okay, that's what I want to do. Like that's what I really want to do. And it doesn't have to be like a massive amount of sales, but like like you and I were talking about how just like doing a limited amount and selling out, knowing that you've filled that market. Is that like what's Yeah, what's a hot success for somebody in this market right now?
Well, for the average musician, not the celebrity type.
Yeah,
Honestly, it really depends on what it is you're doing. Are you selling singles, or are you putting a collection together? For us, it's a collection, right? Because we have the utility, so we're building that project with Sublime Sounds. But and that's the advantage to that. So far right now, we found really good success with auctions, which we did in the Discord. So we managed to sell like mint 1, 2, 3, and 4, but because we mint low. So like my collection is a low mint collection. We do the rarity thing. Like tops, I do 15 uh, mint. Like only produce 15 of one NFT, unless it's an advertising type NFT with like some artwork. Then I'll do anywhere from 500 to 800,
right.
but not thousands, right? So it's just about doing those drops, those NFT drops, and advertising with your NFT. And sometimes they're free, and people are still selling them on secondary market, and maybe it's for pennies, but you're still making royalties from those pennies. And well, there's
Right.
hundreds of them out there, and they keep trading back and forth, 10, 15, or 100 times. Those pennies add up. So
Absolutely. Well,
yeah, but it's still
that's
advertising, right? Next person it goes to, that text, that advertising information is still on that NFT. So make sure you put your Twitter on there. Make sure you put your Instagram, Discord. All that stuff. Those links are on that NFT, so people are going to find you.
so. Let's say this had happened. Let's say all this technology had happened back when Led Zeppelin was around, and we're like maybe where we are
Oh
now.
my God!
Would I be looking at like I own Led Zeppelin 4 and it's worth $1 million?
And we're
Is that basically what we're talking about? Like if like in 30 years from now, if I own an album from a musician that comes out, say 5 years from now, when the market is robust and working just the way you see it,
yeah,
um, well then royalty after royalty after royalty. I mean, we're talking about, like, let's say I own something by James Brown, and there was a
yeah.
limited amount made, it just keeps selling and selling and selling for more and more and more because people want to hear it.
Right. So you're the creator of the NFT is the one making the royalty, right? So
Right.
yeah, yeah. If you created that NFT and it just kept selling and it was selling for, hundreds of dollars or millions of dollars, depending on what the percentage royalty that's actually identified on that NFT, that's what you're making every time it sells. So on the Wax blockchain, Atomic Hub has a limit of 6% on royalties. So, if your NFT sells for $1,000, well, there's $60, 6%, right? So every time it sells, there's $60 for you. Hey, if it sells, 10 times in a month, well, there's $600.
Now,
So yeah.
now royalties are interesting. So if if I sell a song and somebody takes that song and I've given them the rights, I guess that would be in the contract or not. If I give them the rights to take that song, and is it common that someone would have the rights to take that song and then use it as they want to in a commercial or something?
Yes, but it has to come from the NF itself. But there's some projects out there that are doing some interesting stuff with the rights to their music. So I'm not gonna speak to that, but I know there is some differences. Just because I'm not an expert on other people's projects, but I have heard and seen what they're doing, some amazing and really really good ideas with the rights to their songs. So yeah, like just get out there and search if you're looking for stuff. And
Yeah.
in spaces, there's some guys that are holding spaces all the time, and they have a really really good idea. Uh, but again, I don't want to misspeak
Right, right,
or
right. No, I get it.
misinterpret
I get
something
it.
by them. But it is out there, some fantastic stuff. But
Right.
for my NFTs, the music that you're buying off of that, yeah, it's yours. You do whatever you want with it.
I'll tell you, I've got so